Whether you talk about Sunburn or NH7 Weekender or Sula Fest, the number of music festivals in India has been growing leaps and bounds. But really, can they recreate the magic of Tomorrowland? Can they rake in the kind of money that it does? That's the question that we are asking in this, our top story.
From fusion rock to pop, electronica to metal, from whirling dances to art installations, the thrill and energy of live performances at music festivals make for an unforgettable head rush. And no matter how you swing it, what twist you bring on, people are lapping up music festivals. Whether it's Tomorrowland, Belgium's largest EDM festival that usually takes place in July every year, or the Electric Daisy Carnival in North America that sees more than 300,000 attendees on an average. Both feature some of the most noted international artists including LMFA, David Guetta and Steve Aoki. But the history of music festivals really takes you back to 1954, to the Newport Jazz Festival that marked America's first annual jazz event. It brought in more than 11,000 people for a mix of live performances by the likes of Billie Holiday, Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald. And the most famous concert of all time, 1969's Woodstock Festival, where over 500,000 people showed up and the organizers were forced to turn it into a free concert. It left a legacy capturing the uninhibited vibe of the era. Clearly, the countercultural spirit of the 60s has evolved into more mainstream events today, the demand for which has increased worldwide, and India is no different.
People are dying for an occasion like this, to come out, have a beautiful day out, enjoy some great music and a lot of other activities going on around that. This is just the initial phase. I mean, it's going to boom in such a way that you're going to have a big musical festival almost every weekend of the year.
Yes, already in India there are a few notable ones. Zero in Arunachal Pradesh, the NH7 Weekender in Pune and the Mahindra Blues Festival in Mumbai are among the many that stand out.
Looking in the last 5 years, I think they would have grown nothing less than 2000% in India. People have started knowing this, and I would say it is growing at a right pace.
But what about these festivals is so alluring, drawing in swaths of people from all walks of life?
There's something called FOMO, then people didn't want to miss out. Hey, you haven't been to Sunburn? My God, the whole world is posting pictures and videos. You go there to hang with friends, to make new friends.
Cast me out, drug me. But it's a mammoth task to organize a music festival in the country. Take for instance, Sunburn Goa that was spread across 125 acres of land and had close to 350,000 visitors showing up for it last December. The organizers say that there's a huge amount of R&D that goes into the making of the main structure.
We set up this massive stage, we set up the entire sound, we set up all the infrastructure, utilities, traffic, parking, lighting, security. The main structure this year was a 250 feet wide stage with 100 feet high. And that structure, by the way, has to be stable. It's huge amount of science.
While infrastructure is key, organizers have to come up with quirky twists to spice up the festival experience. Are these fringe activities enough to catch the attention of festival goers year on year?
I would like to listen to a lot of music and see people perform and do innovative and new things that I haven't seen before, things I haven't heard before. But that doesn't happen a lot around.
People who really love music should attend such concerts for music, not for a place where you can shop and eat and just have some kind of fun. It should be the music centric.
Notwithstanding the diverse demands of people at such fests, you'll find smaller scale music festivals making their own bid to up their game. Take for instance Austrung, a monthly concert held at the High Street Phoenix Courtyard in Mumbai.
Normally when we have such large events, the mall is trading till late night. So immediately before or after the music concert, the customers have an option to shop, dine and enjoy themselves.
I
a lot of new players have sprung up, like your Supersonic, EVC, and they've all tried to create their own niche. Similarly, you have all these other gigs which are happening, which are very local in flavor, and they're trying to do something around there.
There was an amazing festival in Bombay called Eden, which was a really nice electronic dance music festival, and also the Magnetic Fields Festival in Rajasthan. I just played for that at the end of the last year, so that was also amazing.
Clearly, the options are endless. But from artists to infrastructure and catering, one can't deny that the cost of staging a music festival is exorbitant.
Goa costs us about 30 odd crores. And that's huge amount of money for a 4-day festival. So it's, I mean, your per day cost, if you look at it like that, is how much? 7. About 7.5 crores a day.
Cost really moves from the kind of event, the kind of artist you have, but the artist cost really drives the cost for the event.
So in this scenario, are music festivals really making money?
For us, customer experience is very, very important than the earnings that we do. Trust me, we spend a lot, but we earn practically nothing out of it. Because it's not an revenue stream for us, it's an experience for the customers that we want to offer.
If you're in the business just to make money, then you'll probably just get the DJ or the artist to come on stage, set up a stage, and that's it, and people can come and dance and go away. You can make money. But if you do the right thing, then it's challenging.
While the demand is high, such events take at least a couple of years before breaking even. Even with tickets pegged at close to 3,000 rupees per day, a hefty chunk of that goes into paying taxes.
Out of 3,000, how much do I get? 25% entertainment tax, 15% service tax, 40% is gone. I get only 60% of that money.
So it's easy to see why festival organizers are heavily dependent on sponsors for support. Like Vera Moda was the main sponsor for Sula Fest this year, Bacardi sponsored the NH7 Weekender and the Enchanted Valley Carnival, and of course the Mahindra Blues Festival is sponsored by Mahindra and Mahindra.
So what we're getting a lot of interest from now is more and more sponsors. So this year we have about double the sponsorship money of last year. A good festival goes into the crores of rupees when you talk about gate plus F&B plus sponsorship.
If it weren't for them, we wouldn't even survive. And sponsors see value because just the earlier thing that I told you about, where is the youth? So if you want to get to the youth, this is where you're going to be.
And yet, beyond the funding, there are other challenges to contend with in setting up a music festival.
You need your permissions, but more than that, you need the artists to give you their dates. You got to organize visas, you got to organize flights, you got to book hundreds of hotel rooms in the city.
In my mind, the experience starts right after I have booked the ticket. So my experience to travel there, my experience to stay there, my experience to move around once I'm in the location, all that needs to add up. Now that is something which is really missing from the Indian live music industry. Event companies do need to collaborate more with the tour management companies and create a seamless end-to-end experience for the consumer.
While there are pros and cons in this 100 crore rupee industry, organizers still believe that this is a very exciting space.
Experiences is not only mathematics of business. Making people experience such concert is also a kind of a non-business activity also.
Well, the culture of music festivals is only just growing in India, and the trajectory it follows from this nascent stage is something that Aspire will be following very closely.